If you've been wondering where to get the behind the scenes, my barbecue game, my Chiefs game, you have to come over to Instagram. We're doing a lot of really cool things, still talking sales, still talking marketing, still talking leadership. But come on over to Jake_Dunlap_ if you want to get behind the scenes on everything in sales and marketing.
What is going on, everyone? Welcome to Weekly Recap number 81. I am Jake Dunlap, CEO of Skaled. And this week, I only want to talk about the Kansas City Football Chiefs and our Super Bowl champions, but the team has informed me I cannot just talk about the Chiefs. I have to talk about sales and marketing, which is fine. You know I love it. And I'm going to talk a little bit about two things. I'm going to talk about inbound marketing and how just some of the trends we're seeing, what's working, what's not working inbound. And I want to talk about a compensation guide that just came out this week that talks about trends in hiring, trends in promotion, that I think all of you are going to find super interesting. In this week's Jake's Take, I'm taking on inbound lead generation strategies. And we recently just published one of our first ebooks in a long time, and I'm super, super excited about it with the folks over at Ziff Davis B2B and Spiceworks, really talking about inbound demand generation. And I have to tell you, the process is intricate. There's a lot of things that go into it. One of the most critical variables, if you're trying to optimize inbound, is marketing and sales alignment. And my friends, it's actually not as difficult as you might think. Here are some of the key takeaways. I want you to make sure you download it too. It's in the link in the comments. The things I want you to think about are, one is speed. There is so much data, mountains of data, that speed is literally the most important variable. Your process has to optimize for speed of getting in touch with people. The person that gets in touch with people first wins between 30 to 40% of the time, more than the people who get in touch next. So speed really matters. Then you got to think about quality, the types of interaction points that you have. The companies that we've seen that are the most successful have lots of interactions. They don't give up after one or two. And then finally, procedures. Marketing and sales holding each other accountable. So if you're looking for the quick hacks, those are my quick 3, but please check out the rest in the link below. All right, this week in Awesome, you know what we're talking about. We're talking about the Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl champions. And I also want to talk about a post that I did Super Bowl Sunday morning about prodigies in sales. And I know from my own experience, I've had the opportunity to work with 24, 25, 26-year-olds that were amazing enterprise reps and took a ton of feedback. So I want everyone to think about it. Just like my man, Patty Mahomes, 24 years old, youngest person to ever win the Super Bowl, and youngest person to win the MVP and the Super Bowl and Super Bowl MVP. But hey, we're not bragging here, right? But it's something we should think about in sales. How do you quickly identify talent and we kind of separate them from our career path? We say, look, this person's got a lot of talent. Let's get them better faster. So my friends, this week in Awesome, I want you to think about, 1, what all of the rest of your teams are doing in the offseason and how they're not the Super Bowl champions, and 2, what can you do to make sure you're fostering your sales prodigies. All right, this week's in the news, another amazing piece of content came out from our friends at Betts Recruiting, their 2020 compensation guide. There's a ton of amazing takeaways, my friends, lots of good stuff. There's 2 things I want to call out in particular. 1, there was a 10 to 15% increase in sales hires in markets like Chicago, Austin, and LA. What that signals to me is that companies in New York and San Francisco, yes, I know in New York and San Francisco, we are the epicenters of the world. I get it, right? But more and more companies are looking elsewhere for talent. So again, maybe your next group of hires, maybe it's in a different market. Something to think about. The next thing is promotion trends. This was, again, year over year, the least experienced group of people that were promoted to leaders. So what does that mean for all of you? We have to develop leadership development programs. These were things that were really cool for forever until about 10 years ago. 10 years ago, for whatever reason, we start to see companies like no leadership development. We have this amazing onboarding plan for our SDRs and salespeople. You move to a frontline leader, 0 development. So my friends, as we're promoting leaders, you have to, I want all of you to make sure you have at least a, 3, 6, 9, 12-month continued learning program for all your frontline leaders. In this week's Ask Jake Anything, we got a question from my friend Kelly Buckband. Kelly, I want to thank you for all of your amazing comments and questions. Keep them coming. She said, a VP in my company asked me, is LinkedIn really benefiting our company? How do we know if people are actually using our company page to make decisions or whether they work with us or not? How can I explain the value of LinkedIn to someone who doesn't understand using social platforms and its business implications? So, by the way, look, I can empathize with this. Up until literally May of 2018, I had the exact same mindset. I'm like, where are the leads? How do you show it? Where's the data? If you can't track it, it doesn't exist. And then what I started to see is behavior. And I started to look at, hey, how do blog posts perform? How do ebooks perform on social? And it wasn't very good. And so then I realized, wow, people are just behaving differently from a social standpoint. And so the easiest thing that I can suggest is companies can request different people to follow them, right? So one, you can go look and see, hey, is that person following your company that's in the sales cycle? That could be something interesting. Two, just make it a normal part of your sales process to ask how people found out about you, right? And then make sure that you track that. So for all of our clients in our digital presence practice, one of the first things we do is make sure that they have a way in Salesforce or their CRM to track leads that are influenced by LinkedIn. And so that is what I try to tie it to. I said, look, I get it. It seems a little amorphous. So we'll look at, did we get that person to follow our content and therefore we're constantly in their feed? And two, are we tracking in Salesforce that potential impact? So Kelly, appreciate the question. Again, as usual, if you have a question, and some of you do this, some of you don't. Some of you just DM me. I'm cool with that too. Make sure #AskJakeAnything, and I will do my best to get to your questions in the next recap. All right, my friends, in this week's Get It Done Challenge, I want to first call out last week's winners. 8 lucky people commented, left a little thumbs up emoji, or did something to call it, hey, I want to learn more about LinkedIn. So our team is going to be spending up to 8 hours between the 8 of you, help you with your LinkedIn strategy. So my friends, congratulations to you. For this week, we're talking inbound. I want to hear in the comments your best inbound lead hack. What is the one thing that you've seen, the most creative, the most interesting, or the best results you've seen from an inbound strategy? And for those of you, whichever one we pick, you will get this scaled rain jacket for helping everyone else make it rain with inbound leads. Weekly recap number 81. I'm out.